Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Dimpo and today I'm doing a reading for the 1111 portal. For those of you who are not familiar with the 1111 portal, it basically is representing a moment of an opportunity for more aligned manifestation based on us finding greater alignment. So when you see 1111, that is an indication of support from the divine, from your spirits, from guardian angels. And so on this day, when you work with connecting to the essence of who you are, feeling that sense of soul alignment that comes from the depths of your spirit, writing down those intentions, putting them on paper, speaking them out into the world. On this particular day, those intentions get amplified, and so this really is supporting us in moving into greater alignment with our soul's purpose, what we're here for. That being said, I am traveling at the moment, as you can see, and so I don't have many cards with me here today, but I did bring the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards and the Light Seers Tarot, and I'll be using those today for today's reading. I've already opened the channel and cleansed the space and the energy, so let's see what wants to come through for today's reading. I do also want to note that as I was pulling these decks out, as I was pulling these cards out, the card that was at the bottom of this deck, the Angels and Ancestors, was this is too many. Just one more, please. One more card, please. For the collective is 1111 portal. More cards, please. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So the card that was at the bottom of this deck was Snake, Shed the Old Skin, and we've just moved through Samhain, the Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, All Saints Day, and this was a time for us to honor our ancestors and those who have passed, those who have come before us. It's also a reminder as we are in this life, a reminder that death is a part of life, a reminder of the fact that all of us at some point are going to die and going to become ancestors, and also a reminder that death occurs constantly throughout our life as we're living through these cycles of change, through these cycles of transformation. And of course this year is a year 9. 9 represents the ending of a cycle. It's also the year of the snake in the Chinese zodiac, and this too represents shedding and releasing and letting go of what is no longer needed. And so we really are seeing that, and of course if you're in the northern hemisphere, it's full. We've witnessed the changing of the leaves as they begin their death process. And so if we think, and perhaps you can reflect on this as well, if you think back over the last 11 months, but even since March, I would say, since March till now, what have you been shedding, releasing, letting go? Release the old and rest. What is it that you have needed to let go of, what has needed to die, what parts of you are no longer serving you, what parts might have been a form of protection at some point in your life, but is now actually holding you back. These are aspects of us that we have become attached to, and another way you can think of this 1111 portal is that it's sort of moving us away from attachment to the old so that we can move into alignment with the new. Even if we don't know exactly what the new is yet, but we know that it's coming. But in order for the new to come, we need to release whatever is taking up space that no longer serves us. So the first card that we have here is Autumn, release the old and rest. And so really that's what we have been doing over the year. And the next card that we have that Spirit is guiding in terms of this 1111 portal, 1111 is also a mirror image of each other. And what we're being asked at this time is to take time to reflect. So there has been this releasing process that has happened. Some of it may have been conscious, some of it may have been unconscious. And sometimes, especially for the releases that happen unconsciously, sometimes it's good to just take a moment and look at where we are right now and reflect on what has changed. What is new in your life that maybe you didn't even realize or notice, that is bringing you hope and joy? I can see that in this mirror, there's sort of the universe reflected in this mirror, and the universe represents every possibility and potential. And in fact, that's the mirror image of this angel, that the universe exists within us. So it's important in this moment to take time to really acknowledge what has shifted, what is no longer there, how does that make us feel, what is feeling more at ease in our body, what is bringing more joy into our life. And part of doing that is, you could sort of formally sit down and set intentions of, this is what I would like to manifest in my life. And also just taking a moment to actually acknowledge and have gratitude for what you have is amplifying that in your life already. It in its own way is a form of kind of setting an intention of saying, Spirit, I'm seeing this in my life, or I'm seeing this out there that I don't yet see reflected in my life, and I want to bring this into my life. I want to magnetize this into my life. And so thinking about that, even just taking those moments to pay attention to that, is already starting to demonstrate that these are desires that we want to call in and bring into our lives. So I'm seeing here as well that, as Spirit is saying, by setting these intentions, by doing this work of identifying what needs to be released and what new is on its way in, this gives us the possibility to move in a new direction. So this process of taking time to reflect helps us clarify where it is that we want to go. Spirit is then able to support us in moving in that direction. And ultimately, that's going to bring us more joy and light. It's going to bring us abundance and opportunities. The summer is the time of harvest. It's a time when everything is blossoming and blooming. The sweetness of honey here with the bees. So this new direction that we're moving into, Whoops, maybe if I do it that way, this new direction is actually going to bring us more joy and more light. But we can only receive this abundance that's on its way to us if we do this, right? We need to identify what it is that we need to release. We need to reflect on where it is that we are and where we're trying to go so that these opportunities can come in for us. I see here also at the bottom of the deck, trader, exchange energy to create abundance. Yeah, so, part of this journey is, it's not just you, right? All of us are influenced by this 1111 portal. All of us are influenced by the fact that Spirit is trying to get all of us to move into alignment. And so this means that there's opportunities for us to have more reciprocal, beneficial energy exchanges with one another that can actually create abundance for ourselves. And so this is what this portal is trying to do for us, for each of us, so that collectively this can happen for all of us. Trust your talents. Trust your talents in changing times. You have Spirit Fox here to remind you that trust your talents and use those talents as energy exchange so that we can create abundance and so that we can all collectively move in a new direction and enjoy the joy and light that is on its way to us. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. Oh, and one last, okay, this is why there were so many cards wanting to come up. One last important message. We have Mercury conjunct Mars in Sagittarius. Mars is the planet of action, also the planet of war and drive and motivation. So, in some sense you can think of Mars as the driving force behind what we do with our talents in order to manifest, in order to create these services and products and things that can be exchanged through this energy. And right now, Mars is a fiery sign. It's ruled by Aries, which is a fire sign, and right now it's in Sagittarius, which is also a fire sign, a sign that loves to travel and move in a new direction. So we have this energy of our drive wanting to move us forward, moving towards these new places and destinations that we want to get to. Sometimes perhaps not thinking exactly about the steps that we're going to do to get there. And Mercury is the planet of communication. And so it's amplifying this message right now that Mars is sharing in Sagittarius. And there is potential, especially with this fiery energy right now, as well as with all of the things that are coming up to be released and to be shed. Sometimes our attachments to things can have us wanting to prove that we are right. And so Spirit is also just reminding us that in this time, as we're doing these things, trusting our talents and finding where we need to exchange those talents, because your talents are desired by those in this world. You are here for a reason. And so if you trust that your talents, your you-ness, your beauty is shared with the world in a way that is in alignment with your highest self, and that there ends up being a reciprocal exchange for that, you are then able to release this need to be right. That we don't need to serve our talents and our skills or even have our presence be in all spaces. We are not made for all spaces. And sometimes that need to be right is actually showing us where we need to let go and where we're struggling to let go. Right? It brings us back to this. Where is it that we need to reflect on where we're actually out of alignment and that we're fighting and fighting and fighting because of this feeling that we need to be right. How can we let go of this aspect of us that used to protect us, but is now creating more harm and chaos and discord in our lives? Beautiful messages from Spirit. So I will now just pull a couple of tarot cards from Lightseer's Tarot to see if there's any more clarification that we can get from these. Although I think this is a pretty clear message. One thing I also just want to note is in every single one of these pairings, so we have Autumn, Mirror and Guardian, we have Summer, and I don't think I mentioned this as well, but I am seeing a timeline here that, you know, we have this portal occurring right now, and for those in the Northern Hemisphere, it will be summer, where we will start to see really the fulfillment of these manifestations come into being. We also have a Scorpio new moon coming up, I believe, towards the end of this week. I don't remember the exact date. That is also new moon, time for setting intentions, and so we would see the manifestations of those intentions set around 6 months at the full moon in Scorpio, which will also be around the summertime next year in 2026. And for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, this will be winter, yet the energy of summer, the energy of this abundance of manifestations coming into fulfillment will also be seen around that same time period, is what I'm seeing. But yes, what I was sharing is in each of these we have a single traveler person, a single figure, human figure, or angelic figure, and an animal of some sort. So we have the crow, the bee, and then in this pairing we have the fox, spirit, and in this last card we actually have them together. And we only have a single card, so what I'm also seeing here through these cards is, as we move through this timeline in this portal, what's also happening is integration, further integration of the natural world, of ourselves as part of the natural world, and ourselves. I also see this as the integration of yin yang, of light and shadow, of masculine, feminine. 1111 is creating greater balance. Greater balance is what we're moving towards. Okay, so let's see if there are any other clarification messages here. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Any other clarification messages for this reading, for the collective, for the 1111 portal? Any other messages? Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, so I can see here that what has been blocking this entry into this new phase, and I'm laughing here because I've been feeling this energy so strongly myself, but what has been blocking us from entering into this new phase is the thoughts, limiting beliefs, ideas that are keeping us stuck, the doubts, the fears. As you can see, even in this mirror image, this woman is actually free. She's unbound. And yet, this illusion that has been created in her own mind is that she is bound and blinded, that she cannot see. So yeah, in this time that you're taking to reflect, also take a moment to just observe what thoughts, what beliefs you might have that may not be true, that are just an illusion. Maybe this is something that has been told in your family. Maybe it's something that's been passed down through generations. Maybe it's something that you experienced early in your childhood. It could be something that society has told you and you believed. I might also take this moment to just share that I am also now a certified hypnotherapist. And the reason why I was laughing is because last night I realized that I had this exact same issue occurring. And I was able to do a breakthrough and a release of a limiting belief that has been keeping me stuck. This limiting belief was that if things don't go as planned, I will die. There's no way that I could have consciously thought that I was holding a belief like that. But by going through this hypnotherapy process, I was able to come to the understanding that I had this deeply held belief because of an experience that ancestors of mine have had, experiences that my parents have had, experiences that I have had in this lifetime that have told me that. But that is no longer true. That is not true for me in this moment, in this time, and yet I was still holding on to this belief in a way that has been holding me back from even doing what I'm doing here today, right now. It is so important that we identify these so that they stop holding us back from who we truly are and from doing what we are meant to be doing, what we're here for in this time. And so, yeah, related to this, this mental anguish is what has been causing bottom of the deck. Or these limiting beliefs have been causing this mental anguish, keeping you up late at night, having you think over and over again, feeling anxiety, doubting yourself, not sure what decision to make. Like you have a higher level view. You should be able to have this higher perspective of what's going on, but you cannot see. You're blinded to what choice you're making. And you're unsure, you're hesitant. And so what I'm seeing here is that has contributed to a bit of a stagnation in terms of this death rebirth process. The death rebirth process wants to happen, right? The world, the culmination, the completion of all cycles. These two want to happen. They are here, but they're just in the reverse. So they're a little held back from fully manifesting in your life because of this energy. If you are resonating with this reading, and please only take what resonates, leave anything that doesn't. But if you are resonating with this energy, I would love to help you find this direction for you to move into. I would love to help you find this so that you too can live in fulfilled purpose and joy and abundance. Because it's here for you. It is here for you. And you don't have to do it alone. You are not alone. It is time. It is time to follow the voice of your soul. Thank you very much for being here with me for this reading. I send you so many abundant blessings for this 1111 portal. I will again offer that I do both Reiki sessions and hypnotherapy sessions. Both are virtual. If you're interested in these, please do reach out. There's also a link in the comment in the description box to this video. Wishing you all a wonderful 11/11 portal, many blessings, lots of love. See you soon.